Well, I think the day has finally come. And today is the day that I attack the suspension. As I explained a couple videos ago, I've got a 2.5-inch BDS suspension lift. I'm excited to get that thing on, get this thing raised up a little bit, but mostly just to replace the springs in general is something I've really been looking forward to. This thing rides like a tank. The front springs are totally beat out of this thing because it used to be a snowplow Jeep. Matter of fact, the spring on the other side, the eye leaf, has been welded back in. So it's been stressed a little bit. We're going to get all this stuff changed out. Not only did I get the springs, but I got their complete kit, which also comes with shocks and various mounting hardware, U-bolts and so forth. So we'll just dive into this thing, start pulling it apart. Yes, looking forward to this. Well, the obvious first step is taking the skins off. So after we get this tire off, we've got to get underneath here and support the Jeep by the frame so that we can let the suspension droop. Can't have any weight on it while we take it off, obviously. So start right here. Let me show you one more time this busted eye leaf and the way that somebody welded it back on. It's genius. Check that out. I mean, it's not the first time you guys have probably ever seen someone weld leaf springs together, but yeah. All right, it's time to get this front end sitting down on a jack stand here. I think I got her. There we go. Well, this is the part in the story where we ask the question, how redneck is it? Well, my answer to that is going to be as redneck as it has to be. Come on, baby. That may not get it. Grab the world's smallest floor jack. Oh, she's locked in for freshness there. Ought to be fine, I'm sure. If it falls, it'll only kill me. Hello? You okay? Hey, no foul. We did it. There we go. The suspension's hanging free. Oh yeah, she's quality. All right, so here's what we got. Driver's side here. Obviously, we've got to take the shocks loose. Pretty easy. I've got to get the U-bolts out. Obviously, those are going to be on the bottom. Sometimes those are a Bearcat because they get kind of beat up from various off-road activities. And then we've got to drop the springs, get the bolts out of the shackles, and it'll drop everything. Get this side changed out. So what comes in the kit from BDS? Basically all the things that you would expect, except for, as I'm realizing now, I didn't get new shackles. I'm not sure that my stock shackles are going to work, so we'll just see how that goes. But you get all the new U-bolts that you would need, nuts, washers for the U-bolts, all new hardware is good there, and then you get 4 new shocks. These are the NX2 Nitro series. There was an upgrade that I could get for this. I wasn't that interested for the extra money. I'm not looking for extreme performance shocks or anything like that. And then you get 4 new springs, obviously. Here's just one of each. Fronts here, obviously shorter. And rears. Fronts, gotta kind of hand it to these guys. They want to make sure you install them right. They label the front as the front. So that's what you get in the kit from BDS. All right, well, I guess we'll just start first with taking the shocks off, huh? There we go. Ooh. Okay. Hey. Came right off. These guys are going to find a new home at the landfill. So one of the things that just dawned on me about this BDS kit is that it doesn't come with one thing that many other kits on the market do, and that is the U-bolt bracket slash leaf purchase, whatever you want to call it, but it's also got the shock stud on it here, lower mount for the shock. A lot of the kits I looked at online came with that, a new plate. This one doesn't. Not a big deal. I mean, if you don't need it, you don't need it, and there's nothing wrong with the one I've got. So all of mine look good. You know, sometimes these will get bent. They get hit really hard off-roading or something, but mine all look good, so not a big deal. One of the things you want to keep in mind here as you get closer to releasing the leaves from the shackles is that you're going to want to support the axle. Just get a jack stand like so, so there's something there to catch it. If you don't have something underneath there to catch it, what will happen is this axle will drop, and guess what will happen to that brake line? It'll go, she'll just pop and go brake ski. Well, thinking the hot wrench is looking like a better option for these all the time. That's right, I said hot wrench. How many of you guys call it a hot wrench? By hot wrench, I mean the torch. All right, so just like that, we got that lower plate off, the U-bolt's out. I guess maybe it's time to get the leaf out. Wow. Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh, that's nice. Wow, I'm just looking here. These shackles are really worn out. Man, bad. I'm gonna be dead in the water. I'm gonna need new shackles. Hot wrench time. Oh, hey-oh. You don't want to play the game. That's okay. We got lots of options. Yeah, at this point, I'm pretty sure I just need some new shackles. I'm going to look into it. I might be able to make my own. These are pretty worn out. They've definitely kind of gotten wallered out. So I don't know. I'll look through the scrap pile here and see if I've got some iron that looks like I probably need at least 1/4 inch. And I could try to cut myself some new shackles. I don't know. And there's why we put something underneath the axle. So getting that spring stack out of there really solidified the fact that I need to do some shopping. My front bushings are worn out. I don't know why I thought they wouldn't be, but they are. I mean, GoPro sometimes don't capture this up close, but they're oblong, worn out, just not looking very good. So I think I'm going to go ahead and order a new bushing kit for that and shackles. I thought maybe I would go ahead and build my own shackles. Easy enough to do. I've got plenty of iron around here to do that with. But if I'm going ahead and ordering new bushings, I might as well get shackles too. So that's going to have to wait until next week. I will go ahead and get the other side off, get the other leaf off, and the shock and so forth. And, you know, just at least get that one last step done on that side. All right, so we got the passenger side stripped, leaves are out, shock's out, all the hardware's out. So the bushing on this side didn't look that bad, but again, it's probably from 1973. We're gonna get rid of those bushings, just get a new bushing kit for them. I still don't know why I didn't think that I would need to replace those. I don't know, just wasn't thinking when I made my order. So we'll get that stuff coming. Hopefully it comes in this week. You know, items that you want shipped to Northwest Montana, little podunk town of Libby that I live in, sometimes they don't get here as soon as you would like them to. I'll see if I can find a 2-day shipping option or something like that and get them here. I really want to get the suspension on and get this thing moving forward. But that does mean new shackles and bushings for the front and the rear. So I'll get those coming. So for me, it could be a while before they get here, but for you, it's going to happen in a blink of an eye. Blink! Well, believe it or not, it has been a week and a half since I blinked my eyes at you and said I would be right back. I had to order some parts, shackles. I needed shackles. And again, I don't know why I thought I didn't need them or didn't even think about ordering them to begin with. But the ones I had were really wallered out and just needed to be replaced. So when I ordered shackles, the ones I got are 3/4 inch lift shackles. So they have a little bit extra lift on them. That's not a whole lot. I'm not too worried about it. You know, I'm not really wanting to go super high with BenJee. Just a little extra. I mean, as it is, I'm putting a 2.5 inch suspension lift in it. But that'll add just a little bit more travel, I think, to the shackles, because they're meant to flex with the suspension as well. Now, the BDS springs come with bushings installed. So, you know, bushings aren't necessary for the springs themselves. But here in the bracket where the eye leaf connects to the Jeep, I do need new bushings in there. So I'd also ordered new bushings. If I would have only needed shackles, I would have been able to work on this last weekend. Would have been cool. Probably have my suspension all in. But I also needed bushings, and they just took a little while to get here, about a week and a half in the mail. So now today it's Monday. I'm kind of excited to get this done. So it's after work. The sun's starting to go down a little bit, shading the area because it's like 96 today in the sun. I thought what a great time to just kind of get going on this. It might take me a couple more days to finish putting it together, but we're going to get back on it right now, start getting these installed. Well, I guess that's how you get the inner piece out, but we still got another ring to get out of there. Okay, so I saw a guy online do this. The sleeve, he just got in there with a hacksaw blade and he was able to cut it by hand. He just cut a notch in it, then he was able to bend it enough to release it. I've got this handy little air hacksaw. We're gonna try this bugger. Looky, looky. That thing sucked to get out of there, but we got it. Yeah, right on. I guess that's how I'll attack the other side as well. And we'll get in here with the old zippolator. There we go. Oh yeah. New bushings. These are Prothane brand. Got them from suspension.com. Seemed to be a great place to get this kind of stuff. I mean, the name kind of says it all. Old bushings were rubber. These are a polyurethane bushing. Supposed to be a lot longer life. They are hard, obviously, but with the included grease and the fact that I'm putting new greasable shackles on here, these can stay lubricated longer, probably have a little bit longer life, I'm hoping. They do have the metal insert that goes in them, just like the others. These are just, you just press them in like so, grease them all up and install them. We're gonna get those installed, and we're gonna get at least one leaf on tonight, I'm hoping, because sun's going down. I'm gonna run out of daylight. Yeah, so these buggers just have to press in here, and they will. I'm gonna take a little coaxing. This stuff, Prothane, super grease. This stuff's pretty tacky. I don't know, feels like you're putting silicone on almost. Well, per normal, ran into another hitch here. Check this out. Bushing's installed. Center sleeve is installed. Got my real nice shackle bolt here with the Zert greasable. Yeah. It stops right there. So the shackle kit that I got came with the shackle bolts, and it also came with its own sleeves that are a little bit larger diameter. These are about 7/16 inch bolts. These are slightly smaller. So when you get up to the shoulder on this bolt, it doesn't fit. I'm not getting a spring stack in tonight, but I will go ahead and try to get these drilled out and the other sleeves put in. Darn it. Yeah. Installed. So maybe you're asking, why am I not working on suspension? Just a second ago I was. At least to you, it appeared that I was. So I'm going to tell you, last time I was in here working on that suspension, it was fighting me tooth and nail. Ah, man. I had to take a break. I had to just get away from it. My GoPro was overheating. I had issues with the shackle kit I bought and the new bushings not cooperating with one another. It was just relentless. Well, that guy's got some pipes. Well, it's almost 8 o'clock at night on a Saturday, and it has been so hot today, and I had a ton of yard work to do. I got all that done, and then I said, you know what, BenJee is gonna have to just wait a little bit because it's gotta cool off, man, before I go out and tinker with it at all. I did, however, get this side almost completely done. Bushings are in, shackles are on. Let me bring you over here and show you exactly what I've got done so far on this side. And you can say, hey, at least he's been doing something rather than doing nothing. All right, so here's where we're at. New front leaf is in, shackles, greasable bolts, I love those. Got the back installed as well with a Zert on that as well. So, but here's my next problem is that this spring purchase goes underneath the leaf here. Has the wrong size holes in it for these U-bolts. So I am going to have to drill these out so that they'll fit. Not a big deal, just one more step in the process. I'm going to tell you, these things made me hulk out a little bit. Oh man. but I figured it out. The sleeve that goes inside of the bushing needs to be augered out just a little bit. Right now, they're a little bit smaller than 7/16. If I auger them out to 7/16, the shoulder of this bolt will then slide all the way through. So I have to put them on the vise, the sleeves that is, and drill them out with the 7/16, and then I can install them. It's just kind of a nightmare. I do want to use the new polyurethane bushings, and so, you know, I just have to go through this process so that I can use those, because I think they're better, but I don't know, maybe they're not. I'm just doing what the internet tells me is the best thing to do. Well, they look like they're 1/2 inch. These are not, so let's drill these out. Going old school. You know, not everything's battery powered. You can use these old gals, and they rip through stuff. Just rip through it. Rip your arms off too if you're not careful. When's the last time you had to use a chuck key? Okay, it goes about like so. All right, well, it is another day on the suspension, and yes, today I will finish it. Oh, I will finish it. Started out here, it's a beautiful Sunday morning, Northwest Montana. You can't beat it. Here's as far as I got yesterday, in case you weren't watching 1 or 2 seconds ago. Driver's side front leaf spring in, U-bolts in, shock on. Everything's pretty much ready to go over here. Gonna go over and get to that passenger side next. So this was a little bit of a letdown. The zert came off of this greasable bolt for the shackles. It busted off. Yeah, so I'll have to replace that at some time in the future. So I may have already explained this to you, but I've got one problem that is a real bearcat, and that I have to modify some things that I would have never expected to. I got 2 different kits for the suspension when it came to the bushings and the shackles. The bushings are Prothane bushings. They come with this little center sleeve. Goes inside of the polyurethane bushing. And then I got a second kit for the shackles. They were a 3/4 inch lift shackle kit. I got those from jeepsterman.com. I don't know the brand because they kind of look a little generic, but they came with these greasable bolts, right? You got a little hole in them there, if you can see that, and a zert on the ends. However, the problem lies in this. These are about a 7/16 inch bolt. These are, I have no idea what size, something slightly smaller. It's not a 3/8, it's something, I don't know what it is. Here's the problem. The bolt does insert into the sleeve until it gets to the shoulder. Then it stops. So my workaround is to put these in the vise, get in them with a 7/16 inch drill, and just drill them out a little bit. It takes just a very small amount off. I don't think it's enough to hinder the integrity of this little guy. So that's one of the things that's slowing me down, is just modifying each of these little bushing sleeves so that they work with these bolts. I really want to have greasable fittings in there. Just as a comparison there is your stock shackle versus this new 3/4 inch lift shackle. Dimension of the material, considerably different. These guys here are probably 1/4 inch. This old one was, man, 1/8 maybe? I don't know. They were flanged for probably a little extra support. But these new ones are a lot beefier. There you go. Now, the main thing with getting the springs into place is getting this compression bolt that's through the center of the leaf stack into this small hole in the bottom of the spring purchase here on the axle. And what you'll find is your axle may have to twist a little bit. Yeah, see, this one's out some. I think what we'll do in this case is just get it hanging from the shackles, and then I can adjust that axle. There we go. So I just learned a crucial lesson on the other side. I had the wrong U-bolts in. Pay attention to your U-bolts when you're putting this kit together. They are specific to the axle and the location. Obviously, you've got a larger U-bolt that has to go over right here in this flange and the housing for the front end. You know, I had that U-bolt on the other side, kind of compressed it down to fit. I was wondering why they didn't fit that well. So I guess if I had a tip for you, pay attention to the U-bolts, make sure that they fit into the spring plate that goes on the bottom here. If they line up into that, then you've got the right one to go over the right axle. There we go. I don't know if you could see that, but the axle just seated itself into the spring. Fell right into place. I had to drop this jack stand down a little bit. Always leave these jack stands in place, because if this whole thing decides to fall, that jack up front comes loose. Those are at least going to catch it. Some. Going to keep you from getting totally crushed and mutilated. All right, now I can get the U-bolts in, the plate on the bottom, and the shock installed. All right, for the shock installation, these NX2 shocks, you have to put the decals on them. So when you put them on, make sure you got the decals facing in the direction you want. In my case, I want them facing forward so people can see that, you know, the brand, I guess. I don't know, just a personal preference. Also, you have to insert the bushings beforehand. Put a little bit of grease on those. If you put them in a vise, they just pop right into place real easy. And other than that, it's just hanging them. I did grease the stud down here on the spring plate and up here on the mount on the frame, just for a little bit of ease. Getting them on. And you just clip this. And now, one of the things is, if you do clip this beforehand and the shock fully extends, don't freak out about it. You can push these back up. It's just, there's a lot of resistance on it, but it's not the end of the world if this comes off and you don't get into place. But ideally what you want to do is clip this and then try to just guide it into place, stop it. There, installed right like that. That one and that one. Then just put on the old nuts, the old hardware. And other than getting the tire on, retorquing everything after it's settled into place, you're essentially done with this end. The back end is going to be almost identical, other than the fact that you've got to kind of get around the fuel tank. Because I really want to get this project done, and I'm kind of tired of looking at a camera while this happens, I'm just going to get the back end done, get the tires on it. I'm going to show you the final product here in just a minute. Well, there it is. 2.5 inch suspension lift and a 3/4 inch shackle lift. But you know, honestly, it's a little taller than I thought it would be. It looks good. I really like it. The kit was pretty straightforward to put on for the most part. A few asterisks there. Now, I'm going to tell you this. You can kind of look at me. I'm a bit filthy. It's 9:30 at night. The sun came out today and it was absolutely brutal. I had to take several breaks because honestly it got up to 100 degrees and I had no shade for a while. And then we had a little barbecue with some family. Some of that kind of stuff got in the way, but man, I really literally just toiled in this thing all day. One of the things I will tell you about the 3/4 inch shackle kit that I got with the greasable eye bolts, those grease zerts are fragile. I broke 2 of them just putting the grease gun on them. If you're buying a 3/4 inch kit off of jeepsterman.com, watch for those eye bolts, greasable eye bolts, because the zerts are very, very fragile. Otherwise, you know, a few modifications here and there to get this thing to work. Like I say, I had compatibility issues between the hardware that came with the shackles and the polyurethane bushings that I bought. Had to do a little bit of finagling around to get those in. And I guess the other major flub that I had that kind of set me back was the fact that I had put the wrong U-bolts on when I first started. I was wondering why the U-bolts didn't fit well when I started on this corner, on the driver's front. I had to really compress them down to get them into the holes in the plate on the bottom of the leaf springs. And you know, the epiphany happens after you move on to the next one and you go, oh, well, wait a minute, those U-bolts are very specific to where they go. So what's next? I have this thing set up with an appointment for new exhaust. It's going to get a new system about from the header back, just a standard muffler. I'm going to keep this thing nice and quiet if I can. I've got some new tires that are going to be here. Got some BFG all-terrains coming in. I went to a 32-1150 from these 31-1050s. I just thought, well, if I'm adding this extra lift, I'm going to go with just a little bit bigger tire to fill it out. And I've got some white spokes coming on it. Just plain Jane, simple stuff. Those are coming up next. You guys might see I've got a new seat for the back. I need to get that installed with the seat belts. I need to finish out the back as far as rust proof and paint, just kind of clean it up back here. And then I've just got odds and ends after that. I've got to fix the wiper motor switch. I've got a new one of those. That thing fell all apart on me. Got to get the dust boot on for the transfer case lever. I've got that sitting in here. So just lots of odds and ends. So I'll probably do 1 or 2 more videos just to kind of let you guys know where old BenJee's at, if you care. And it's just a fun project. Looking forward to just getting this thing to where I can take it out. I just want to go out. I want to go picking huckleberries with my wife, explore Northwest Montana in old BenJee. There's a couple really old, kind of neat trails and roads locally here that I'd like to take this on, maybe bring you guys along on that. So that's where we're headed with this thing. But it is getting late. I'm surprised you can even still see me. It's creeping up on 10 o'clock. I got a huge mess I got to clean up over in the Big Sky shop. So I'm gonna get to cleaning up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.